What's up? We back at it. I told y'all I was going live Thursday. We Thursday live. We chatting. We about to chop it up. Get into it. A lot going on today, but I'm gonna cover a few things. Teofimo Lopez and Jaron Ennis. I'm gonna talk about that for sure. And Claressa Shields seems to be in the middle of some controversy with Remy and Papoose. That's for my battle rap fans. I don't know if some of you guys watch battle rap, but they got some controversy going on, and it's kind of crazy in my opinion. I ain't and kind of shocked me. I woke up to it, but Remy Ma seemed to be going off, but we're gonna chop it up. But if y'all get in here, make sure y'all smash that like button. But yeah, shocked me today. But yeah, let's talk about it. So Teo and Jaron Ennis, if you guys don't know, they've been in the news a lot. Both of those guys have been supposedly be fighting each other or in negotiations, but things have been changing. A lot of words have been changing. New articles coming out. Eddie Hearn seems to be seeming to try to exhaust all options on getting Boots a unification fight with one of the champions, and it's kind of crazy. I don't think that's gonna be easy because right now, what you're gonna do? The only champion I could see is gonna be easy to get in there with, maybe Norman, but who knows how the negotiations. You guys didn't get the negotiations done the first time, and I don't think Norman is gonna come off his number. And his team is gonna come off his number, but they're in some situations like Barrios he's trying to fight Pacquiao. Pacquiao is trying to come back and fight Mario Barrios. So how that's gonna be a situation. How are you gonna get that done? Stanionis, do you guys? What's up? What's up, fool? Where you been at? What's up? But in my opinion, it's kind of crazy. I ain't really feeling it, because I don't think it's gonna be easy for Jaron to get those type of fights. I think he's gonna basically be froze out. The welterweight it's not too much work at welterweight for those guys. The only fight I can see him possibly getting is the Norman fight, and I don't think the Norman fight is gonna be easy to get. Because negotiations fell out the first time, so negotiations fell out the first time, and it's definitely a chance that they not coming off their number, especially if they're not gonna fight, at a neutral site or something like that. It's gonna be, tough to get Norman in the ring with Boots. So we might be out of that, in my opinion. So I want to see, the Teofimo Lopez fight, but it's looking like it's not gonna get done. Crazy as that sound, everybody wants to see it. I want to see it, I think it'll be a good scrap. But if you're not gonna get those champions in the ring, you might as well just fight Teo. But if you avoid Teo and you don't fight one of those champions, it's definitely gonna look like you avoided Teo. It's definitely gonna look like this. It's gonna look like you ducked him and you straight away, and it's kind of gonna boost Teo's confidence in a way, because I think this is really I don't think this is a hard fight for Boost. I think this should be really a walk in the park fighting Teo. That's just what I think. I think it should be really a walk in the park, and it really should be easy. But Eddie Hearn came out and said that I'm trying to exhaust all. I was kind of cowardly, because it seems like you don't have Boost's best interest. You trying to hold Boost back in a way, in my opinion. But I don't like that. I think Boost should be fighting Teo. It's the biggest fight of his career. He hasn't had anything bigger. You know, he hasn't fought a name like Tio. So why? You know, the champions don't seem to be interested. You know, with Boots at 147. I just told you guys, Barrios is fighting. Barrios is fighting. Barrios is trying to fight Pacquiao. I don't know what Stanionis is doing. You know, that's still gonna be a hard guy to get in the ring. We don't know. Pretty sure he's gonna want to be compensated heavy to fight Boots. So, you know, it's tough. You know, and I told you guys, Norman. I don't think Norman's coming off his price. So that leaves Boots in a tough situation. You know, and you know, everybody was kind of giving them flack for bringing, you know, 140-pounder Tio to 47. And, you know, they was trying to compare it to the Tank situation. I don't think it's comparable. You know, I don't think it's comparable at all. I think it's a totally different situation. I think Tank bringing up Roach is, you know, kind of iffy. You know, that's not the best. It's not the best fight at 130. It's not the best 130 pounder. You know, he didn't bring up a Navarrete or, you know, somebody like that. You know, he brought up basically, you know, somebody, you know, unanimously consensus believe the weakest champion at 130. So I can't just sit here and say, oh yeah, I'm supporting that. Nah, you know, Tio's way more accomplished, you know, in boxing than a Lamont Roach, and you'll be, you know, lying if you say he wasn't. In my opinion, I think the fight should be, you know, more competitive than a Lamont Roach and Tank. You know, Tio has beaten, you know, Tio has beaten Vasily, you know, Richie Comey. Josh Taylor, you know, he's been in there with some guys. His last few performances, you know, haven't been good, but as far as, you know, what he's accomplished as far as a Lamont Roach, definitely. You know, Lamont Roach, you know, he had he lost to Jamel Herring. I think he had a split decision with Hector Luis Garcia, you know, so this isn't a crazy task for Tank to say, you know, this is, oh yeah, we're not giving Boots no, nah, this might be Boots, you know, toughest fight, crazy as it sounds. And this is a fight he should win, but it's still his toughest fight, in my opinion. So I can't just sit here and say, that's different, you know, or that's not the same thing. It's iffy, you know, in my opinion, and I don't like it. You know, I think we shouldn't be comparing those two, you know, as far those two fights to each other, because it's really not a comparison. You know, if, you know, Lamont Roach maybe had okay, he was a champion at 26, you know, he unified at 30, and now Tank's finna fight him. Okay, that's a little different, but you know, that I think Lamont Roach got that title, you know, because he got a knockdown in the last round. And you know, they gave him that title, so it's different. You know, I'm not sitting here and saying, you know, Boots should be getting flack, but it's gonna look away to the fans. You know, you don't fight Virgil Ortiz, and somehow you end up in the negotiations with Tio. Of course, the fans are gonna say that looks away. So you're gonna get flack. It's gonna be like that. That's just what it is, in my opinion. But yeah, I want to see it. I still want to see the Tio Jaron fight, but right now, who knows if we get it? You know, it seems like, you know, Eddie is trying to sabotage Boots' career. So this is what you do, a podcast? Yeah, I've been on her. Yeah, but it seems like he's trying to sabotage Boots' career and keep him away from big fights, and you know, that's just what it is, in my opinion. I'm not mad. I'm not mad. I'm not mad that, you know, the fight not getting up, but I just don't like that Boots, you know, signed with Matchroom, because you could have stayed with Showtime if you was gonna do this. You could have stayed with Showtime, and that's what it would have been. You know, it would have been smooth sailing, in my opinion, if, you know, you stayed with Showtime, because you fighting Karen Chizukian again. You know, you're not getting big fights, and every time it seems like you about to get a big fight, it doesn't get made. And the common denominator in the situation is Eddie Hearn. You know, he didn't want to pay. He didn't want to pay Norman. I thought that would have been a great fight for you if you would have fought Norman. It would have been probably the best situation for you, in my opinion. You know, getting that title, snatching that title, and you know, Eddie Hearn just didn't want to come out of his pockets. So now you look away. It looks kind of fishy in my opinion. So I can't just sit here and say, you know, Eddie Hearn is the best thing going for Boost. You know, he's Boost not even knowing if he's in negotiation with people. He doesn't. He don't even know he's negotiating with people, and that's crazy. That, you know, Eddie Hearn got him so out the loop. You know, but we need to see what's next for him. You know, I want to see what's next. What does he do? Because if you take a light touch and you know it's nothing, you know, if it's not at 54 and you fight somebody at 47 and it's not a champion or elite guy, it's gonna look away, or you know it's gonna look real bad. Especially now, and then it's gonna look like you avoided Tio. Crazy as that sound. And I don't think you avoiding Tio, but you know Eddie got you looking a little bit funny, you know, and that's just what I think. You know, I think Eddie got you, you know, holding you back. I think the turkey out of the sheep will fund some of these fights that if you tried to actually get them, but you know Eddie seems like he's protecting. You know, you know, that title, or you know, trying to protect you or something. But it looks like he's holding you back, in my opinion. And you know, you're not gonna get anywhere fighting Karen Chizukians of the world. You know, so I want to see what you do next. Hopefully, it's Tio. But if it's not, yeah, you're gonna get a lot of buzz. You know, because Virgil already said, "Oh, I'm not fighting Jaron Ennis no more ever again." You know. He's gonna give him a way to basically avoid the fight and not fight you ever. So, you know, that's just what it is. I'm not, you know, a fan of that, him saying that, but it is what it is, you know. If you didn't know you was negotiating, it gives him room to you know, to duck you, because that's what he's gonna do. He's gonna duck you, you know. So now guys are gonna find their way to avoid you, not fight you. So because you know you negotiating bad. But your team, you know, you know, I think you need to fix something in that team, because I think he's tremendously talented. You know, I think Boost is real talented, and you know he could definitely be a star. You know, he's young, and he actually has a lot of skills. But it's gonna be held back because you know his team. You know, it's gonna be like that. His team holding him back. You know, not getting certain fights done, but it's issues with certain things. You know, Brian Norman did get injured, so maybe that's, you know, hopefully they could get that done. And I'll take that over the Teofimo Lopez fight, but you know, who knows? Brian Norman's probably gonna ask for a tremendous amount of money, and you know, Eddie Hearn's not gonna want to cough up the bag. But yeah, I'm not feeling it anyway. You know, it's a lot going on today, in my opinion. Why is he playing with me like that? Oh my gosh. Niggas just joking on here. But what's hour plus 5.5. That's some bullshit, crabs. Hour plus 5.5 tonight. Who does Iowa play? I gotta go check that out. I want this Nick in here. Nick, you in here? Comment if you in here, Nick, so I can ask you something. Play tonight for college. I gotta see. But what's Claressa Shields? You know, she's having her little situations. You know, crazy as that sound. I guess I'll get into that later. You know, I'm still kind of on Eddie Hearn. You know, Eddie Hearn being a terrible guy, not a guy for the people. You know, he just tried to. Yes, hour plus 5.5. It's a lot. Yeah, so it's locked. You know, that's for sure. That's a grand. But yeah, Eddie Hearn. I just don't think Eddie Hearn is. If y'all in here, make sure y'all like this live so people can see it. You know, get this out here. But um, I don't think Eddie Hearn is good. You know, he basically just tried to rob Richards and Hitchinson. The guy gave Liam Paro a 117, 111. That's basically 8-4 the other way, which is crazy. You know, I wonder how, you know, he tried to pull that off because I didn't see 8-4 at all in that fight, you know. But, you know, Eddie Hearn has always been one of those guys, you know, who goes for his guys. And, you know, he's from the across the water, so he's always going for his guys, and he's gonna pull for his guys, put his guys in the best situations. You know, it's always been like that. You can't be mad at him. You know, that's kind of, you know, people over here, we don't stick together. That's just what it is. You know, they stick together. You know, across the water. So you gotta give them that. You know, that don't mean that he's not shady. It doesn't mean, you know, he's not shady, because I definitely think Eddie Hearn is for sure shady. And that's probably why I think Boots should probably part ways with him, but where he's gonna go. But top rank, could he go to top rank? Nah. I mean, ain't like Eddie Hearn's doing anything for him, you know. So, you know, it is what it is. I think, you know, Turkey Al-Sheikh is really helping boxing, you know, with that, with what's going on. You know, shout out to him, because I'm glad he got these guys working together, because it was times in boxing called, you know, the Cold War, and, you know, none of these promoters will work together. So shout out to Turkey Al-Sheikh. His Raya season card is loaded. It's gonna be what, February 22nd. We're getting the Dimitri Bivol rematch. We're getting a Dimitri Bivol rematch. Artur Beterbiev. You know, their rematch for Undisputed. It was a great fight the first time. I want to see if Dimitri Bivol can fix some things and improve. You know, Beterbiev, you know, he's only going to get older, so, you know, who knows, you know, and he has a bad knee, so, you know, I'm rooting for Bivol. I wanted Bivol to win that last fight. I felt like he kind of gassed, and, you know, he hurt Beterbiev, but I didn't think he stepped on the gas like he should have, man. Me and Mr. Neezy watched it, and we was kind of, it was like he's supposed to stop them and got him out of there, but, you know, Beterbiev is tough, and, you know, it's a reason why, you know, Beterbiev isn't, you know, just called out by many. Shout out to, you know, them for actually fighting. You know, at 175, you know, guys, you know, they making it a thing, because, you know, it's not money, a lot of money at 175, but, you know, Turkey will give those guys big paydays to fight. Shout out to, that's why I say shout out to Turkey. You got to give them their credit. If y'all in here, make sure y'all like this for me. You know, like this, you know, shout out to y'all. But shout out to Turkey, because the card is loaded, you know. We getting a lot, you know. We getting Joseph Parker, Daniel Du Bois, Floyd Schofield, Shakur Stevenson, which I think is very premature, you know. But shout out to Floyd, you know, he didn't duck the smoke, you know. Even though I do think he might be a little bit out of his league with this, you know. But you gotta give him credit for taking a fight. I do think he may be out of his league a little bit. You know, I think, you know, he's just a tad bit green. You know, and that's no knock to him. You know, that last fight, you just got knocked down by Jaron. I don't even know his first name. But, you know, this is a different level. You know, when you step up to this type of level, it's different. And I can't just see, you know, it, unless you're just, you know, out hustling Shakur Stevenson, that may be Floyd Schofield's only route to getting this done, you know, outpointing Floyd Schofield or something like that, you know, something, you know, because it's looking like, you know, Shakur mostly going to outbox you and outpoint you and get it done. But, you know, Shakur hasn't looked good in his last two performances, you know, in people's opinion. I thought that the Artem performance, I thought Artem kind of mailed it in. He didn't want to win, and he basically just decided, I'm not going to pursue trying to win so I don't get hurt or stopped. So, you know, but Edwin De Los Santos, you know, Shakur got a lot of flack because he wasn't a lot of engaging in that fight, but got it done. But I don't think too many people are calling for Edwin De Los Santos. So, you know, it's shocking that, you know, Shakur gets flack for their win, but you know, people aren't going out their way to fight Edwin De Los Santos. You know, Edwin De Los Santos iced, you know, Jose Valenzuela. You know, so we don't see, you know, a lot of people go and get, you know, fight Edwin De Los Santos. So we gotta give Shakur credit, you know, because although Shakur didn't engage, we didn't see much engagement or much hustling from Edwin. So, you know, it's definitely danger there. So that's why we didn't see that. But, you know, Shakur, I think is gonna be the experience level is gonna get him over, you know, Floyd Schofield, and that's no knock to Floyd. Shout out to him and his pops for taking a fight, but I just think they're just not ready. They didn't take, you know, I think fighters should take the necessary precautions, you know, when going into a, you know, when trying to be a champion. You know, you need to fight those tough guys, all different styles, and you need to take the right step-up fights to help you ready for, you know, get ready for a championship. I don't think Floyd did that, you know. He's jumping right out the gate to going from Jaron to to Shakur. You know, a lot of people might not like Shakur, but he's, you know, he's a 3-division champion. You know, he was a unified champion, a linear champion at 130. You know, a lot of people, you know, he's been in there with guys, you know, and it might be guys that you might not like, but he's been in there. Christopher Diaz, Jamil Herring, Oscar Valdez, you know, he's been in there, and people don't just seem to jump in there with the style of Shakur Stevenson. So that's why I'm giving Floyd credit, even though I think Shakur should win. We'll give Floyd credit. But yeah, those, you know, it's crazy, you know. Then you got what else you got? You got is what Virgil fighting. Virgil's fighting Israel Madrimov. That's gonna be a banger. Caleb Smith is fighting Boosie. Gosh. Then you got Zaylee Zhang versus K. That's a loaded card. I gotta give you know, I gotta give Turki Al-Sheikh his credit for that. You know, that's shaping up to be a great card, and definitely bangers on that for sure. But you know, next year it's shaping up to be a good year for boxing. You know, we got February, we got Benavidez and David Morrell. You know, they're fighting. Then we got Raha. Then you got Tank and Lamont Roach March 1st. You know, we getting some decent cards, you know, to start the year off. And I think they're actually starting the year off with some bangers, you know. If we could possibly get, you know, Canelo Alvarez and Terrence Crawford, you know, in 2025, you know, that would be a great year. Great first half of the year, you know. But I don't know. That's kind of in the air in my opinion. But you know, also if Jaron Ennis and Teofimo Lopez, you know, they were talking about their fight being done for March 1st. They'll basically be competing with the Tank Davis and Lamont Roach. And in all honesty, which pay-per-view would you guys buy? Teofimo Lopez versus Jaron Ennis, and you got Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach. Which pay-per-view do you guys buy? Yeah, it's kind of, I don't really want to see. I would definitely probably buy the Boost and T.O., you know, because I just know what would happen in the Tank and Lamont Roach pay-per-view. And in all honesty, you know, that's just my opinion, even though I do think Top Rank and the Zone are setting you know, T.O. and Boost up, putting them guys on pay-per-view. If they did fight and went on pay-per-view, I think definitely wouldn't be in both guys' best interest, because, you know, Boost is relatively unknown. He's a Philly guy. You know, he's known as far as hardcore. You know, the hardcore fans know him. You know, we know him and we address him. But the casual fan doesn't really know Boost. And let's just keep it a stack. I'm not going to lie to you guys. They don't really know Boost. So, you know, that putting it on pay-per-view is kind of bad. You know, even though it'll be the better fight, you know, between Lamont Roach and Gervonta Davis, they most likely going by that because, you know, Tank is such a star. You know, it's just what it is. Even though it might be the better scrap, Tank is just such a big star, and that's what allows him did you start this channel? I don't know. I think I started it COVID. Was it COVID? I think I was bored in COVID, and I was bored in COVID. It's probably when I started it. And yeah, what I was, he just made me lose my train of thought. God damn. Shit, where was I at? Finding Peace, Douglas Cinema. You made me lose my train of thought. Make sure you like this video for me. Like this live for me. Shout out to you because you made me lose my train of thought. But yeah, even though Boots and T.O. is the better scrap, I think fans, because the casual fan loves Tank. They'll get more biased. So that's just what it is. But I do think T.O. and Boots will be, and they'll be crazy to try to go up against Tank on March 1st. So I hope Eddie doesn't do that, and I don't think he's, truly interested in just putting Boots in there with T.O. because of his last performance. But you got to give Karen credit. He was tough. I think this is a different outlook, as far as T.O., because I think T.O. will be at a disadvantage moving up another 7 pounds. He hasn't been looking well in his last performance. Steve Clegget kind of pieced him up. Who else? Jermaine Ortiz. A lot of people thought Jermaine Ortiz got the win. Sandor Martin. It's been tough, besides him winning at 140 against Josh Taylor, it's been tough for T.O. So, who knows? Well, who knows? But I think both guys should do it, in my opinion. I would love to see it, in my opinion. But yeah, it's crazy out here. I want to see. I really don't want to see. Gosh, I really don't. How do you guys feel about the playoff? College football playoff? I'm not really feeling it very much. Nick, who does Iowa play today? Let me know who Iowa plays today, cause I forgot who they play. Who do they play? I know they spread 5, but I forgot who they played, and I need to know. That's different. I gotta watch me some college basketball. I haven't been watching Thursday night football. I haven't been watching football as much because it hasn't been really interested, in my opinion. It hasn't been interesting at all. If we keeping it a stack, been very, below average, in my opinion, as far as football. Haven't been feeling the NFL lately. It's just, I guess I'll tune in playoffs. I kind of prefer college sports. Lately, if it's not like boxing or UFC, I like college football probably the most. Right now, but college basketball just kicking up. I love college basketball, but I just think that the hunger in college sports is a little bit more. Especially as far as college basketball, the guys, half the season they way more competitive. And I just feel like NBA, they kind of coast through those 82 games. And that's probably why viewership is down. Nobody's really watching the NBA because, all guys are doing is just shooting threes, jacking up threes and, hoping that's winning basketball, that's just not, in my opinion, the best thing going. But, and it could be a little bit of, I was talking to bro, and he was like, why is the viewership in the NBA? It could be a little bit of the games are harder to find. It's hard to find an NBA game. So a lot of people are using streaming sites and illegal streaming sites. I won't say no streaming sites because, I'm not the police, so you won't get me. I won't say no streaming site for you, so, I'm not the police. But, yeah, that's probably why the viewership is down in the NBA. It is what it is. We could, if they improve the game, and they're talking about expanding the league to the Europe, for what? I think you should actually taper down on the game here. in my opinion. I mean, it'll be more competitive, I mean, but what does it do? What does it do, in my opinion? How does it help? Maybe because, the league is starting to get a lot of Euro guys. Euro guys are good. I'm not going to hear and hate on those guys, but that's just what I think. But, yeah, let's move on. Kind of got sidetracked, talking about other things. But Claressa Shields, she's in the news today. Claressa Shields, she's having her situation, I guess. Her and Remy Ma going back and forth about, allegedly her messing with Papoose and, I guess them dating or whatnot. Kind of crazy in my opinion. I just can't fathom it, but if, in all honesty, this really generally stems from, Remy Ma. Remy Ma was allegedly messing with a battle rapper, Easy the Block Captain. I watch battle rap, I know who that is. A lot of people say he's a mid-tier battle rapper, but he's not. He's actually a really good battle rapper. A lot of people don't give him credit, but they don't know him, so it is what it is. But, her and Claressa Shields going back and forth, and if you guys don't know, Claressa Shields, she's Olympian. She's heavyweight champ right now. She has a fight coming up soon, and she has a movie coming out. So I kind of don't understand why she's getting into this, but, maybe it's something. I thought she was engaged, so that's why I'm kind of shocked. I thought Claressa was engaged, and she had a husband and all that, so now, so everybody's just side piece to side piece. It's kind of weird, in my opinion. I don't really feel that, but it is what it is, She's messing with Papoose now, and I don't know why Remy's mad. I mean, if Papoose is, trying to move on, you kind of been popped out. You've popped out with Easy the Block Captain numerous times. So, I'm trying to see what's the hate. I think you guys should move on. If you guys aren't happy, let it be. But, of course, people are going to drag it out, make it a scene. Oh, it's bigger than what it is, Claressa's trying to fight Remy mom. We not gonna get nobody's gonna fight, if anything. In my opinion, nobody's gonna fight each other about some mess, but of course everybody's gonna talk about it. That's why I'm talking about it, in my opinion. But I think they should move on, let it go. Especially, it shouldn't really be brought to the media. But, maybe they got tired, so it is what it is. But yeah, Claressa Shields, this is probably a great promo for her. She's definitely gonna benefit, from this, because I mean, controversy sells. You might not like it, you might be against it. It is what it is, but controversy sells. It is what it is. So that's why, people, who's always into stuff make the most money. It is what it is, controversy, and it's always been like that in America. People love controversy. We love to embrace it. We love want to know what's happening on the news. I think guys like serial killers end up being famous, Jeffrey Dahmer, Ted Bundy, because we love controversy. That's just what we is. So, Claressa Shields, she shouldn't be in this, but it is what it is. She seemed to be throwing a shot back then, except like, she threw a shot a long time ago at Remy Ma, and a little freestyle with it. I didn't know it was about Remy, but it is what it is. I want to see, I just want to see them, kind of squash this and move this around, because I really don't want to, you shouldn't be getting into married people business, because who knows, those people might get back together, and it always, I've seen it, married people do crazy things, they could be going through a midlife crisis or whoever or whatever. So I think they should probably move on from that and let that be. But, a lot of people like Claressa got exposed, it is what it is, I don't think she was exposed. I mean, Remy been messing with, Easy the Block Captain, so we can't just say Claressa is wrong. But I thought Claressa was engaged, so that's kind of where I'm I'm kind of shocked. I thought Claressa was engaged. She wasn't, she that's what she told us. Maybe they fell out and that's not going on no more. So she's messing with Papoose, but you know, all publicity is good publicity. Remember that. All publicity is good publicity. You know, I have to realize that on YouTube. You know, y'all be talking crazy. Some people get in the comments and say crazy things too. Like, gosh, but that's YouTube. Bro told me I gotta deal with that. Especially if, you know, if I want to get on here and talk my opinion. You know, some people ain't gonna like your opinion. It is what it is. You gotta deal with it. But yeah, let's move on. You know, we off that. Sebastian Fundora and Earl Spence, you know, they seem to be, you know, still talking about fighting. Sebastian Fundora is very confident in him beating, you know, Earl Spence. You know, Earl Spence hasn't been in the ring since, you know, what, July of, what? It's been a while. He's been out the ring, you know, and he's been, you know, since that Terrence Crawford beating, we haven't seen Spence, you know, but, you know, when Sebastian Fundora won the titles against Tim Tszyu, you know, Earl Spence got in the ring and, you know, said he wanted to fight, and it is what it is. Although I think Sebastian Fundora should have fought Terrence Crawford, you know, it is what it is. We knew Sebastian Fundora wasn't gonna fight, and I thought Sebastian could be a tough style, being that he's so tall. Could have been a tough style for Terrence Crawford. But, you know, it is what it is. So right now they're talking about fighting, and are they really gonna fight? We haven't heard from Al. You know, Al has been missing. You know, Al isn't answering phone calls, so we don't know what's up with PBC. Did he run off with a bag? You know, did he go missing and hide their money from him? Because it's been rumored that he owed a lot of guys money at PBC. And PBC has been with Prime. They promised us, what did they promise us? Like 13 to 15 cards this year. What did we get? Maybe 3 or 4 or something like that. We didn't get that many cards from PBC. We didn't get that many cards from PBC at all. So we basically got scammed and bamboozled. So I know Prime isn't happy, you know, about this deal. You know, I know they kind of irritated, like, you know, because, you know, they would promise something and they, you know, it's not getting delivered, you know. But what does PBC have? You know, they don't have the product to deliver anything right now. You know, PBC is struggling. You know, what do they have? They got Tank and David Benavidez, and, you know, they got Canelo here and there, and they basically rent out Canelo services. So, you know, they don't really have much at PBC. So, you know, with Spence and when they guys do cross the street, finally they lose. So, you know, Exhibit 8, you know, Deontay Wilder, Earl Spence, you know, it's been countless guys of PBC that crosses the street and lose. And it is what it is, you know. We can't be mad, you know, but I gotta give those guys credit for at least trying to cross the street. You know, that's why I never, you know, gave Earl Spence flack, because, you know, he didn't have to go fight Terrence Crawford. You know, his advisor advised against it. You know, everybody said, you know, this was a bad idea. You know, he basically, you know, said, screw that, I'm taking a fight. And he was a man of his word. You know, he said, I'm gonna clean up my side of the street and I'm gonna go fight Terrence Crawford. And a lot of people don't be man of their word. That's why, you know, I still support Spence, even though he's not fighting. You know, if he does fight again, I'm gonna support Spence, because, you know, I gotta make it a routine, you know, to support guys in big fights. Like, you know, when guys are risking their oath to go fight a guy in their prime, instead of, you know, waiting 4 years for us to finally get a fight, that's why I gotta support a guy. I got to. You know, I'm not gonna say, oh, cause Spence lost to Terrence Crawford, you know, I'm not supporting him no more. I'm not watching him no more. I'm on the boost wave. You know, cause that's what guys did. Soon as Earl Spence lost to Terrence Crawford, you know, everybody starts saying, oh yeah, Boost is gonna go. Boost is the guy to beat Terrence Crawford. Boost is the guy. Yeah, we're gonna put Boost on him, which is corny, but, you know, I still said I was gonna support Earl Spence, because, you know, we don't get those type of fights. You know, basically, you know, and he didn't do what, you know, Keith Thurman did to him. And that's why I never support a guy like Keith Thurman. You know, shout out to, you know, Earl Spence for actually being real and stand-up dude. You know, Keith Thurman, you know, basically avoided welterweight when Spence and Crawford got in welterweight. He went on a mission and he got married and he was doing everything but fight. Then you come back to try to cash out against Pacquiao and lose, so that's why, I can't respect a guy like Keith Thurman, because, we really wanted that Earl Spence and Keith Thurman, and now it's to a point where Earl Spence said he's never fighting Keith Thurman, and I really wanted that fight at one point in time. So, I'm not gonna sit here and say, Earl Spence is done for because of one loss. If Terrence Crawford would have lost to Earl Spence, I would still support Terrence Crawford, because we have to support the guys trying to fight the best. And that's probably why boxing is struggling, and guys can't be start because they don't feel like they can be a star with 1 or 2 losses. People still watch, in MMA, those guys get a lot of support. They can lose 2, 3, 4 times because, when you fighting the best, you bound to lose. Everybody's not gonna go undefeated in combat sports. It's a rarity. You get the John Joneses of the Floyd. That's a rarity. You don't get guys to go undefeated in high level combat sports. It's just, it's somewhere you don't get it. And those guys who do go undefeated, the Andre Ward who retired undefeated, he actually hung him up at the right time, because if he stayed around, a lot of people thought that, guys like Better Bev and those guys could beat Ward. But, Ward was tough. I would have loved to see him get in there. I really thought Andre Ward should have fought Adonis Stevenson just to, cement was, how great he was. But I thought he was already great, Super 6, all that, He kind of cemented himself, in my opinion, at 68. So I'm not gonna give him no flack. But yeah, I think the Earl Spence and Sebastian Fundora thing is tough. It's basically, PBC is basically, if Earl can win, we build off Earl again, because, everybody's still going to want to see Earl Spence. He's still a high commodity. They still want to watch him, still want to see him fight. He's a personality in the sport. He's a star, basically. He's a star. You got to give him that. He's a star. But PBC can also benefit by, Sebastian Fundora winning. We build up a new star, possibly align him up for Canelo fight, So they benefit each way, with both guys, fighting. But I just think it's kind of bad. I would have loved to see Earl Spence, and I've been saying this for a while. I would have loved to see Earl Spence in a tune-up fight. I don't think it was good for him to just jump and go right back in to, championship level after being out the ring for so long. As far as the Terrence Crawford fight, you should be trying to, get your reflexes back. And I don't know why he think he's, he doesn't have to take a tune-up, which is insane. I don't think that's smart at all. I think he should be actually trying to get his reflexes, get the feel, knock the rust off. I think that would be the smart idea, in my opinion. But guys are hard-headed. He doesn't, and the reason he probably can't take a tune-up is because PBC doesn't really have the dates for him to do it. So he really can't take a tune-up like he really wants to. So it is what it is. I do think the fight probably benefits Sebastian Fundora. He's been in the ring, the more active guy, and Spence is coming up to 54. He's been at 47, killing himself for years. Now, you finally go up to 54. How do you handle it? I don't know if he has anything left. Because that Terrence Crawford fight took a lot out of Earl Spence. He can say it didn't, but it did. He got beat up in that fight. And Terrence Crawford showed he was the best welterweight, in the sport. But, I'm still supporting Spence, because I told you guys, if high-level guys fight in their prime, one of those guys are bound to lose. That don't mean the other guy is the worst ever. Usually, he just lost. It happens, It happens, when Ryan and Tank fought, people still watch Ryan. It's a loss, If you bounce back, same. If Devin bounced back, people start watching him. But yeah, I think right now I got a lean Fundora. Just he's just the younger, fresher guy in the Spence situation. And there's no knock to Spence. I still think Spence is nice. That Terrence Crawford fight, car rigs, eye surgery, that took a lot out of him. And You know, going in there with a younger guy, a taller guy, and a guy at his weight class, you know, I think that's gonna be tough. Now, I would be rooting if he pull up the upset. Who knows? But I would love to see the odds. What does Vegas, you know, have the odds of that fight? Who's the favorite? Who's the underdog? Because it's gonna be crazy in my opinion if they do fight. But hopefully we get it. You know, they haven't made an official announcement basically because of Uncle Al. I told you Uncle Al is missing, but yeah, that's just what I think. What else? What else I got on the what else I got on the scope today? I gotta talk about one more thing, one or two more things I had on my mind. What was it? What was it? I had one more thing I had to talk about. Oh gosh, what was it? Oh yeah, my bad. Yeah. How do you guys feel about the college football playoffs? You know, finally being announced. Do you guys feel like are you guys content with it? You know, Bama being left out, Miami being left out, a lot of teams being, you know, a lot of people, you know, got in. SMU got in, you know, and they didn't punish them for, you know, losing the conference championship, which was shocking. A lot of people feel like, you know, this college football playoff doesn't have a lot of star power, but, you know, you can't blame, you know, those teams for winning, you know. Oregon undefeated, you know, those teams just, you know, won. They, you know, scheduled the tougher teams, but, you know, in my opinion, SMU getting in and staying in with the Clemson, if they would have got blown out by Clemson, they probably would have put Bama in. But since they made that game competitive and it was a field goal game, they gave them the edge over Bama because, you know, Bama with the 3 losses and, you know, the loss to Vanderbilt and the loss to 6-6 Oklahoma. Shout out to my Sooners, we got it done. We got it done that night. But those 2 losses, the Vanderbilt loss. Vanderbilt was a good team this year, but you know, a lot of people thought Bama should have got it done. But the Oklahoma loss was inexcusable to losing November to Oklahoma is absurd. So that's probably why they got punished. They got punished so bad, you know, because you can't be losing to Oklahoma and, you know, Oklahoma in November to a 6-6 team. You know, I think, you know, this is probably the worst Oklahoma team in a while, in my opinion. I still think the field is kind of fraudulent. I think some of those teams, you know, I'm not a fan of Penn State, I guess. You know, I think they're going to... I'm not the biggest fan of Penn State. You know, I think they just benefit from being in the Big Ten. And I just think they're going to come up short. You know, you got a lot of teams, you know, that may struggle. But right now, Georgia, you know, they might be the favorite to slide and get it done. I think they're going to be tough. I want to see what Texas does. What does Texas do? Do they start Arch or do they start Quinn? I think they start Quinn. You know, and it's been talks that, you know, Quinn is going to return for college next year, which is crazy. You know, him returning back to college. I wonder, is he going to transfer? Is he going to transfer, or is, you know, Arch going to stay? Because Texas had plans to, you know, Quinn leaving this year and giving the keys to Arch. So that puts them in a tough position. And the way he played against Georgia last week, struggled. He struggled bad. He did struggle. And, you know, that draw the eyes to where maybe he should return. So, you know, I want to see what Texas does. You know, I think are they playing Clemson? I think they're playing Clemson. It's going to be a very tough game. You know, Dabo isn't going to just lay down. And they might got Texas like a 9.5, but I think that might be a tad too much, you know. Dabo is Dabo. You know, he's going to be experienced, and, you know, I can't just say you can count him out against this Texas team. You know, I don't think this Texas team is just going to dominate them, in my opinion. I think it's going to be a competitive game. And, you know, especially with the QB situation, You know, it's not solidified. You know, especially Quinn probably in his head right now because he struggled. He struggled in that Georgia game, and if Clemson can get out them, I think they can make it very tough on him, and we can see. But I definitely, want to see what do they do at the QB situation because people are gonna if he loses in the first round or something like that, people are gonna be calling for his head. So he's probably gonna have to transfer. But I want to know because if he returns for college, are they gonna do QB? Are they gonna fight for the job? Does Arch leave? A lot of people, you know. What does he do? Somebody I don't know if Arch leaves. It's gonna be insane. I want to see what's gonna transpire at Texas, but it might not be a lot of star power, but I think the right teams got in. I definitely want to see what Genty does. How does Genty handle being in the playoffs? Because there's gonna be a lot of physical teams, and does Genty struggle? He's gonna be in for it. They got a first round bye, so it is what it is. What up, Taraj? What you been on? You been good, Taraj? I gotta call you. I think the playoffs it's not very star powered. I would have loved to see Cam Ward get in. I was praying Colorado could stay undefeated, but of course they lose to Kansas. Who goes to lose to Baylor? It wouldn't be shocking, that Kansas team played like that Colorado game was this Super Bowl, and it killed me, So we missed out on some talent. I would have loved to see Cam Ward get in, Bama get in, and Colorado winning the Big 12. But I think Scatterboo them was tough, and I don't think it would have been a cakewalk for Colorado. I don't think they would, but it would have been an amazing game. It would have been an amazing game in my opinion. I think both teams. I just think Colorado would have struggled with Arizona State's run game. They would have struggled big time with their run game, and we wouldn't have probably got Colorado in. But it would have been a chance. But right now, if you ask me who my favorite was to win the college football playoff, I would have to say, maybe, who do I like the most? Penn State, nah. Tennessee, not shit. They're not ready. Boise State, not shit. I may like Ohio State to get it done. If Ryan Day doesn't get it done, I'll be shocked. He has a history of coming up short. But if you ask me, that's probably my pick to win. Ohio State, I think they get it done. They do have that Michigan loss. I'm kind of glad they got it. I'm kind of shocked that they lost to Michigan, but Michigan and Ohio State, they're gonna play each other hard. But if you ask me who I got, I'm probably gonna tell you Ohio State. Ohio State. I think they, as far as offense, defense, they have a lot of weapons, very skilled, and these games are gonna be at neutral sites, so I just think Ohio State should win. They struggled against Oregon, but that was early in the season. But I think they're a better team, and I just don't think Oregon is they number one, but I just don't think they're the best team in my opinion. Don't kill me for that. Don't kill me for that. I know I might say some outlandish things, but don't kill me for that. I think Oregon doesn't get it done and they lose, and it is what it is. I think they might have a tougher road, and they didn't benefit from being number one, as far as the brackets in my opinion. But yeah, y'all know I got my little brother in here, you guys. His name is Taraj. That's my little brother. How long have I been on here? I've been on here 55 minutes. We're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna wrap it up soon. I ain't say I was gonna be here all day, so I'll probably give you guys an hour. I told you I'm gonna start going live on Thursdays. This is my second one. My first one was pretty cool. We're gonna keep doing them. I'm gonna try to get another one in. I tried to do it Monday, but Thursday is just probably my best day until I can get some free time because I got a lot going on, y'all. I be practicing with my little basketball team. I got a little AAU team. I got so much. And I be out to record. I be watching games. I be with my girl. I be doing a lot. So I'm trying to find time to go live with you guys and chop it up and interact with you guys. Some of you guys are cool. Some of you guys are weirdos, but I understand that on YouTube. It is what it is. I just found that hobby that I like. So I just stick with it. But what else did I have? That was pretty much it for the day. I'm kind of shocked that Jaron, Ennis, and T.O., Eddie Hearn came out with that nonsense talking about I'm gonna exhaust all options for champions. Kind of shocked when everybody was talking about the Teofimo Lopez situation. So Eddie tried to, basically. I don't think he has the best interest for Boots. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Do you guys think he has the best Boots interest? In my opinion, I just don't think so. I just think he's moving funny, and he's not putting Boots in the best predicaments to actually win and actually succeed and have a good career right now. Because if he didn't fight Virgil, cool. We was cool with that, and people was like, okay, he's fighting T.O. That's a good scrap, even though he's bringing T.O. from 47. T.O. called him out, and it's still a better fight. I don't think it was a better fight than Virgil Ortiz, but I think it's a good fight. So, a lot of people excuse him, but now you popping out like, oh, we're going to try to exhaust and fight all the champions when clearly the champions have no interest. Barrios about to fight Pacquiao. Norman, I don't know if he's healthy yet, but I got to go check in and see what's up with him. But that fell out because he wants a bag. Stanionis, you're going to have to give him a bag. So he's going to have to drop some money to make any fight with those champions at welterweight. And he just made that clear that with that Brian Norman situation that he's not trying to pay guys. He's not trying to pay guys. So we might not see you against a champion. So I think the next best thing for him was Teofimo Lopez. I think that was the best situation for him. The best fight for him was T.O. He hasn't fought anything like a T.O. in his career. This probably gonna be his. Not probably. It is gonna be his biggest fight. He didn't win the title from nobody. He fought. He got a vacant title. So this will be his biggest fight, and I know it's against a smaller guy, but it's his biggest fight. But it is what it is. Hopefully Boots realize what Eddie Hearn is doing to him, because there's no way that you don't know you negotiating with Virgil Ortiz. Turkey all the sheet called you out on, and then it had you looking kind of funny, Boots. So hopefully you kind of realize that Eddie Hearn doesn't have your best interest, and he might be holding you back, but that's on him. Claressa Shields, I don't think she should be arguing with Remy about her husband, on the online, that's just what it is, So to sum that up, you shouldn't be online arguing. If he's messing with you, he's messing with you. That is what it is. Even though I think Remy she's kind of insane, because she did pop out with a whole different dude, and now, she's mad about, I guess, she might be a little bitter that, her husband is moving on, but it is what it is. I don't really care about them folks' drama. I'm a guy that try to keep my personal business, off the internet, and I think people should do that. If you want a happy life, keep your business off the internet, and you actually be happy. But what else? What else we talk about? The college football playoff, it's alright. It's super alright. I do think it doesn't have the star power it needs, but it'll be alright. I think it should do fine. Maybe we get some upsets, that'll do us justice. But right now, my favorite to win the college football playoff is Ohio State. I think they get the job done finally, and they get them one because I think it'll be deserving. I think that, I think they supposed to got it with Stroud, CJ Stroud. They missed that field goal. Stroud drove them down that field. They should have had it then, but you know they choked it. But field goal kicker choked it. So I think Ohio State gets it done this year, and you know that's just my opinion. But we're gonna wrap it up. I love you guys so much. If you tapped into the live, came in, supported, or liked the video, I'm gonna upload this so you guys can see it and you know watch it again, rewatch it. It is what it is. But make sure y'all smash the like button, hit the sub button, turn the post notifications on. You wanna find me on any other platform. My link tree is in my bio. Follow my X at Visuals LOE. Follow my TikTok at LOE.visuals. I love you guys so much, so much, so much, so much, so much. I'm out.